What's up, everyone? It's me, ATO3. If you have anything better to do before this video, you may as well do it. And now we're on part 2. Wow, we've done this so quickly. So if you're still curious about how to solve an algebraic equation, here's part 2. We're going to be showing what variables are, substitution, finding a variable's value, and what happens when there's two variables when finding the value of a variable. I'm ATO3, and well, this is practically lesson on variables. That's making as a video. So now here's variables. A variable can be any letter. You can have A equals 2 or B equals 3, because variables can equal any number at all. A lot of times it's X. When there's more than one, it's usually X or Y. That's why one of the reasons why we use this or a dot for multiplication, because it shows the difference between this X and the X. So here, yeah, it could be practically anything. Once again, it could be anything. So in one equation, X might equal 5, and in another equation, X might equal 4. That was a 3. This is 4. So I'm just going to say real quick, don't ever assume that X equals something, because it can equal anything. It can even equal a -2. But so far, as I've seen and experienced, I'm pretty sure that you can't have X equal two different things in one equation. That's practically impossible. Of course, generally. Now, in substitution, you can substitute anything, any variable. So here I put X equals 3 and B equals -4. So now when I have X times B, I just put 3 times -4 plus 3 divided by 3 minus 5. So that's the first thing you do even before PEMDAS, as I said in the previous video. I talked about PEMDAS in the previous video. But here, before you do anything, you want to take your substitutions and make them into numbers. This makes everything a lot easier. So now we get to simply do the -12. To see how to do this, you might want to watch my previous video. 1 minus 5. Now we just have 11 minus 5. And then suddenly we get 6. 6 is our answer. And so that's what we have here. I'll just put a random one. Let's say I do like Y. Actually, no, let's go with H equals 5 and U equals 9. U equals -2. Now, as I showed in the last video, we're going to do 5 times H times the absolute value of U plus 5. So here you see, even these numbers, these variables, can have like things that change the equation, like absolute value. So here we can substitute this with what it'd be, -2, and then we have plus 5. So now that gets you to 5 times 2 plus 5, and now you have 10 plus 5, and you get 15. So now I hope you understand substitution, and we're gonna go do something completely crazy, and we're gonna bring you to how to find a variable's value. It's not exactly completely, but let's go. So when there's one variable, it's usually pretty easy. There has to be an equal sign for you to figure this out. You can't change anything, but there has to be an equal sign for you to figure this out. So now you want to bring the variable to one side and everything else on the other side. So we're gonna get so you can flip anything like any number if you switch its sign. So now we can go 40 plus 24 minus 32. That's because this 32 here has flipped to the other side of the equal sign, but now instead of a plus, it has a minus, and this would equal x. So now we'll do, of course, the work. Minus 32 equals x. That means 32 equals x. And if you want, you can flip it. X equals 32. And now you found what x equals. Now, sometimes it might be a little bit more complicated than that. And wait, let me just show you. You could have 2x. So now all of these are 2x all of a sudden. So now what you do when you have 2x is you just divide everything by 2. Then this equals 2x divided by 2. So now you have 16 equals... In the rest of this video, it's a challenge. Because I'm acting normally as if I'm solving and showing you guys. But I make a mistake somewhere. And that mistake somewhere causes me to get it wrong. In an algebraic equation, small mistakes can change a lot. So you gotta check through it. But now, you guys will get to see the footage. And in the comments, try to figure out the correct answer. If you can figure them out, congrats! You understand this concept. So now you're gonna be going through this entire video. If you want, you don't have to go through the entire one. You can just try to solve and figure out the answer. If you can figure it out and you couldn't figure this equation out maybe before you watch these videos helped you. So, go ahead and try your best. I'll hope. I don't know. If you can, if you may, do a good job. So, now we're gonna go into the next part where we have to see what happens. Well, we don't have to. We're just gonna see. If you would like to learn what happens if we have two variables, and yes, there's two x variables, but like this doesn't matter, and we have different numbers. So, real quick. If you want a recap on this, if you don't know this, the number before x is called a coefficient, or like this. It's spelled like this: coefficient. So what a coefficient does is it's just the number of times. So 2x would mean 2 times x. 5x would mean 25x is 25 times x, because we do not know the exact number that x is. So now we're going to start off with the number. So we want to do this multiplication first. And 23 times 2x is 46x. Pretty easy. And yes, I know sometimes your brain might be so confused what to do when you have multiplication like this. Because yes, I've tried to do it before and that's happened to me. So yeah, it's actually really simple. Just do 23 times 2 and add x at the end. Now we're going to do 45 plus 3y plus 3x. So yeah, that's just it. Yes, variables are lowercase most of the time. In case you were wondering, I don't know if it's all the time, but like, it's not exactly all the time, but it's very often. So very often they're lowercase. So now we're going to do the next thing. We're going to go put the variables on one side. So 20 minus 45 actually, because we're using this 45 and it's going to the other side of the spectrum. So now we're going to have 3y plus 3x plus 46x. I mean, of course, minus 46x. So now we have, of course, our nice 21 minus 45. And so now we have our nice negative 25, which equals to 3y plus negative 43x. So yeah, no, this isn't an equal sign. I'm sorry, guys. Computers having some trouble. Like, I'm having some trouble with it, so like, sorry about that. Really sorry. So now we have negative 25. We could put the 3y here now. Negative 25 minus 3y equals negative 43x. So now if we want, we could just change everything. Like here, if we say times, let's say we multiply the entire thing by negative 1. We can do that, that's fine. So now we have 25 plus 1 equals 43x. So, not plus 1, I'm sorry. So see, here you might go plus 1. But that's a mistake, because it's actually going to be plus y. Because when you have 1 of a variable, it's just the variable. So now we can just put, let's say, 25 on the other side. And we find y equals 43x minus 25. So see, you can't get a clear answer in most situations. But you can do something pretty smart here, and you can decide to go back. And you can grab this, and you can just take all this out, and now all of a sudden you're back to the top. But now you have what y equals in numbers and the variable of x. So now when we have the variable of x, we can all of a sudden, this might sound pretty crazy, might have the chance to solve this equation. Or do we? Is the simple question. Now we're going to change this to 129x minus 45. Now we have plus 3x, and now we're going to be doing some pretty nice math. So now we have, of course, we're going to go 46x minus 1. Yes, I'm very sorry about this. This is just some lag. Of course, so we can take that out now. And now we can take 46x minus 129x minus 3x equals to what we have here right now, 45 minus 45 minus 20. So since these two cross out, we just know this is negative 20 right here. So first of all, we're going to do this. This is minus 132x. We can do that. Now we're going to do, of course, I think I've told you guys this before, but I'm just going to remove this example for now. But I think I've told you guys this before, but a cool trick is you could just do 32 minus 46x, and you can just find whatever is the opposites of that. Yes, I told you guys this in the previous video, so that instead of doing like mental math, you can just do this. So now quickly take a look at what this does, and we go minus 6, we go down to 126, and now we're going to subtract another 40, and that goes to 86. So now we have negative 86. Yes, there's nothing here. If you were curious, that shouldn't be there. Negative 86. So now we can just make this negative 86x. And this, of course, crosses each other out, so negative 20. So now we can divide this, so that now we can go divided by 86 divided by 86. So now we have negative x equals 20 divided by 86, or like, whatever you got. So for example, you can have negative 10 slash 43. Well, yeah, negative 10 slash 43. So now we're gonna make it all, we're gonna multiply this all by negative 1, so that we get a positive number. So x equals 1043. And now what does y equal? Y equals 43x minus 25. So when we have this, 43x is now 10/43. 10/43. So now we have 43 times 10/43. So that's y equals 430 43 minus 25. So y equals a good 10 minus 25. And so we're going to find the final equation. Yes, I have to go up a little bit to get this last equation. So we're going to find the final equation. And y equals 10 minus 25 gets us finally to our goal of course, the answer. And the answer is that y equals negative 15. So although that was hard, now we can just erase everything else. And look, at the end, these are the answers. Now, if you want, you can also check. So now you could check this equation if you want, and you can go into here, and you can go 2 times 10 slash 43, and you can go, and 3y, you could just make that negative 15, and now 3x, once again, 10/43. Make this a bit larger here. Now this should check out if we are correct, and I'm pretty sure we are correct. So this of course becomes pretty easily. We can just change this to 20, and we can change this to 30, and we're gonna get a simple, well, of course this might be a bit hard for you to solve just thinking, but 20 times 20 is, imagine it like this. So 10 times 2 times 10. So that's 20 times 10 equals 200. Now let's double that, and we got 20 times 10 equals 200. We're going to double that, and we have 400. So the answer here is going to be 400 plus 3, so 60. So 460 divided by 43. Now we have negative 45 here, and that's just it. We're going to lose all of this because they cross each other out. Now 20 plus, of course, this is a bit of a tricky one. This is going to be 20 plus 460, but instead of 460, you have to do some more math there. So you have to think, so what would that be? That's 10 and 30 over 43. That's 10 and 30 over 43. 10 plus 30 over 43. So that's 10 10 once again, plus 30 over 43. So 20 plus 10, but plus 30 over 43 becomes this. But now we made a mistake somewhere. You can tell. So you can tell because now it says something pretty crazy. This is impossible. This can't be true. You're absolutely right. 30 plus this cannot possibly be true. So now let's go back. Let's go back a little bit and let's look what we did wrong. This would be 20. Now that becomes, of course, 460. 460. There was where we are lacking. Not there. So we have negative 45. We have 30. See, we made a mistake here. And we made a very big mistake. Now, what I want you guys to do, after everything I've showed so far, is to try to figure out how to do this right. Then, if you can figure out how to do this right, you'll truly have learned the subject. Practically what this concept is. Let's see if you can do it right. And once you do it, comment below the correct answer. And if you get the correct answer, congratulations to you, and see you guys in the